We're back. Thank you for joining us again. And we have with us Reverend Clementa Pinckney. And he's going to talk with us about the assembling of the South Carolina Annual Conference to celebrate the Sequicentennial 150-year celebration of the South Carolina Annual Conference. How did I do?
You did well.
Welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Good to be here.
Okay, tell us about the celebration.
Well, 150 years ago, the African Methodist Episcopal Church was reorganized or organized here in South Carolina.
Okay.
And so this is the big year in which we celebrate all that God has done in the life of the church.
A big celebration.
Big celebration.
Okay.
Bishop Richard Franklin Norris, our bishop, and his wife, Mother Mary Ann Norris, will be leading us in celebration, actually beginning this Saturday with preliminary events for our young people in celebration. And then the spouses of our ministers will get together at your church, at Nichols Chapel, that afternoon. And then on Sunday afternoon, we're going to have another big celebration of our young people. But on Tuesday, we will kick off with the opening worship. And, you know, the AME Church has played a role throughout all of South Carolina, in particular in the lives of African Americans. And in fact, it started back in 1818 with Morris Brown, who founded EMANUEL AME Church at 110 Calhoun Street.
That's where you're pastoring.
That's where I'm pastoring, and such wonderful people there. And we're very proud of our history and equally proud of our future.
So in this 150 years, what can we expect in the celebration?
Well, first we're going to celebrate those who brought us here. Morris Brown, our founding. Dr. Bernie Powers and Miss Elizabeth Alston will lead a symposium this week where they talk about the beginning of the church in South Carolina. Talk about Morris Brown, a freed African in the city and minister who founded EMANUEL. And then we're going to talk also about Daniel Payne, who was also a minister and also from Charleston, who was AME, who was actually run out of Charleston because he was teaching African Americans to read and write. And we're also going to talk about Denmark Vesey, who was an African American minister at Mother Emanuel. And we're going to talk about how, because of what he did and this, with the slave insurrection and his planning, how AME churches were closed in South Carolina. And then we're going to talk about what happened in 1863, where missionaries came and began to start new churches and how we've grown from there.
Well, you know, Reverend, I'm so happy that you're here to talk about this, because we just had another talk a few weeks ago about what is the plight of the black church. And I'm happy to have you here to talk about, we're celebrating 150 years of the black church, the AME Church, South Carolina Conference being here in South Carolina.
Well, I want you to know, and I want your viewers to know, that the black church is alive and well. All, you know, contrary to all opinions to the contrary. We are alive and well. We're active in our communities. And in particular, the AME Church is involved in many aspects of social action. It's been our history to look at the welfare of all people. We've had ministers who've gone to Congress, who've served in the state Senate, who've been community organizers. When we were drawing districts for Congress this past several decades, those districts were drawn within black churches and black institutions. Congressman Jim Clyburn, who's an AME.
He's an AME.
His district was drawn on the side of an AME church and our property at Allen University. In addition to that, we responded very quickly to the Trayvon Martin case, and even before then. We're involved in just about every aspect of life within our communities. And the black church is the one institution that we as African Americans can still count on,
be proud of, and call our own. Okay, and with this great celebration, you're inviting the public.
Oh, the public is invited to all of our worship services. Our first worship will be 10 o'clock on Tuesday, where we will thank God for the first 150 years of our church in South Carolina, as we're looking forward to the next 150 years. Because I think the important thing about history is that it helps us to remember where God has brought us from, but it challenges us to think about the possibilities for the future.
Okay.
And so we invite people to come out. And the other point I like to mention is that our church has always been involved in the arts and culture of our people. And so we've been partnering with local African-American artists. Miss Cookie Washington is a great artist in the area.
I've seen some of her work.
You've seen some of her work. She's a great quilter, an artist. And at our church, at the close of our annual conference on that Saturday and Sunday, we will be exhibiting African-American artwork. And there will be some that will be available for sale that weekend.
And what is this event called? Passages?
Passages. It's called Passages Artists Collective Exhibit. And that's the title of it. We'll have woodworkers, painters, sculptors, glass workers. And so this is just our way to make sure we continue our connection to our culture.
Well, I want to thank you for being here today to talk about this wonderful celebration.
Thank you.
And I will be there.
Looking forward to it.
All right. The celebration will be held at Mother Emmanuel AME Church, 110 Calhoun Street. And for more information, you may call the church at 843-722-2561 or visit their website at emmanuelamechurch.org. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Sam Dennis and the Sam Dennis Singers.